Let's look to this new video out of Iraq this hour. Pope Francis arriving in Baghdad, in Iraq, beginning what is a historic trip. He is meeting with the country's president, and you're going to see some pictures in just a second of where he is, but his motorcade arriving, the first ever trip by any pope to that part of the Muslim world. It is considered the riskiest of the Pope's 33 overseas tours so far, not the least because of the potential security threats, but also because of the ongoing challenges posed by the pandemic. Megan Williams is in Rome. She covers the Pope extensively. This morning, she explains why this trip is so important.
As you said, Heather, this is the first time a pope has ever visited Iraq, and it's also the first international trip the Pope has taken since the onset of COVID. It's a trip that's very important to him, and mostly because of the beleaguered Christian minority in Iraq. And in his videotaped address before leaving, he said he understands for that small Christian community that's remained there, about 300,000 from more than 1 million 20 years ago. In their mind's eye, they're seeing the destroyed churches from the war and the Islamic State incursions into cities like Mosul. And he says that he hopes his visit transmits to them a caress of the Catholic Church. This is a community that has been through a lot. And so the Pope, as he often does, goes out to the peripheries, goes to places that are not world capitals, and offers support for people that are often forgotten. So that's the main thrust of this trip. But it's also about sectarian resolution and peacemaking. He's going to the birth site of Abraham, who is a patriarch for the Catholic Church, but for Muslims and Jews as well. It's about reconciliation, building bridges between people of different faiths. He will also visit with the main Shia spiritual leader in that country as well. So the message is, of course, to bolster the Christians who have been through so much in Iraq, but also to bring a message of peace and reconciliation to the whole country.
Megan, we're going to go back and look at the images of the Pope arriving in Baghdad at the airport there and then coming off his plane, and I think we'll see those. He was wearing a mask, we understand, as he flew. He was wearing a mask as he came off the plane. You just indicated this is the first trip that he has made since really being sequestered in the pandemic. And really, COVID is just one of many risks of this trip. I mean, if you look at people around him, he's carrying his mask there, but you don't see that many masks. And this is a big concern, isn't it, about this trip?
Well, it is. I mean, COVID numbers are rising in Iraq. Of course, the Pope has been vaccinated. His entourage has been vaccinated. But the concern is about crowds spreading the infection in Iraq. And, of course, security concerns as well. The Pope will be traveling in an armored vehicle, but he will be in an open car in a crowd of about 10,000 people in a stadium. Now, that capacity is 30,000, so social distancing is taking place. But yes, security and COVID are main concerns of this trip to Iraq.